Copy. Come in, bag. Type. Well, I'm here. Come on, Peg. Does this work? What?
Hello, hello.
There you are, Peg. I was getting panicked.
Oh, well, you know, when you got 3 different sign-ons, it's hard because I have to go locate where you're sending it to.
Yeah, I sent it to Hangouts, the one that we were talking in earlier, to try to.
Yeah. So I'm here. It's just, oh my goodness. And I was
okay. I was
trying to pull stuff out because, of course, I'm not prepared for this at all. How are you?
I've got my stack of junk here, and I'm just trying to still figure out the chat. It says enter */ What does that mean? */ question mark. Where's the question mark? Why don't they make this stuff easier? Question mark. Why don't they make this stuff easier?
Okay, gotta mute this thing. Okay, so I got you up on my phone now.
Okay.
So I can see what's going on with the chat.
All right, well, I've got the chat open on my screen, but I still don't know if it's going to do anything or not. I enabled the live chat in the settings, which is I thought was what we needed to do.
Well, we have people here. We have Rebecca Bullock, Cindy Bagley, Liz KB, Deborah. Good morning, all. We are here with
Hello,
you.
Everyone. Our chat may still not work.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to go with the phone because that's not going to go.
Right.
And the reason being, Shel, is because it's on Google. It's not. We're actually. It's switching us over from one application to the other. So YouTube isn't catching the chat because it's actually happening in Google and then being transported back there, I think. It's a mess. So that's why everybody's having to put up more than one appliance to do it. I mean, maybe if you were doing it all on your phone, because I know some people that use their phone seem to have no problem because, you know, your video camera is coming in here and it's going directly to, I don't know. I'm sure there's more people that are better at this than I am. So we'll just move on and say good morning to everyone.
Yes, I'm glad everyone's here. I can't tell that you're here, but Peg can, so hi, everyone. I put it on my phone. Hopefully something will happen with that. I don't know.
Do you want to bring your phone? Okay. So what you see me doing here is I thought I was going to do this, but I think this is too ambitious for me today. So I'm not going to do this one. Maybe this one will do in the future because this is going to take way too long for the time we have allotted. So this one's going to the side.
Did we allot time? I didn't know that.
Well, I try to shoot for an hour, and it usually takes us 2 hours to do an hour segment. So at least takes me that long, just because people only have so much time that they can give to this sort of thing. And I get that,
Yep.
I get that there's a lot of other things in their day to go and do. So
I can show you what I have, guys. I have all this junk mail that is all like a card weight junk mail, and I just kind of picked the size that I liked, which was kind of the size of this. Let's see if I can find this Kohl's one. I think that's not it, but anyway, it was about this size, and the ones that it was 6 inches tall. The size that I liked was 6 inches this way, and I don't really care very much about how wide it is, but I cared that they were all the same height. So for like the 4 or 5 that were a little bit wider than 6 inches in these mailers, I trimmed them down. But then as far as the ones that are in here, they're like all different lengths. I don't really care about that. And there's even some that are a little bit too skinny, but I figure they'll get caught in the binding as long as they're in between the pages. Because what I'm trying to make is a junk journal to use for November for our art journal prompts for a art journal page every day in November. So, and then for the cover, I have an envelope, like a cardboard, envelope that had was sent, that had photos in it, and I'm going to trim that down. So I'll go do that while Peg is talking, and I'll put it back on her screen.
Oh, so I don't know how far I'll get with anything, because my week has been crazy and I haven't prepared for you. Can you tell? So I have a couple of different ways to go. First off, I tried to pull out the sewing machine, which is not cooperating, and I had ripped leather inserts out of an old bag. And so this is where I was trying to piece it together, and I was going to make a cover for my journal out of this old bag. I like to recycle, and I've got batting and all that stuff. I at least got the supplies to do it with, but my machine isn't cooperating. So another day for that. So that was the first idea. Then I went out and got some heat and bond, because I thought, well, I can take a journal and I can attach some heat and bond, and I can put, a journal cover. I can make a journal cover, and I can attach some fabric with heat and bond. So that's one idea. And then the other thing that I don't have a few ideas, do I? The other thing I thought about is I had all of these painted papers, and I thought, well, I could just do an easy binding on this, because I've already got all of this stuff matched up and cut and scored. So this can become a journal also. And then Shel saying, when is she going to stop? When is she going to stop? I got these, which are dollar store placemats. And I thought, well, this is quick and easy. I can do this. I've got some nice fine cashier collection journals, and I can make a cover for these. So I think this is what I'm going to start with. Sorry. Don't have my phone turned off. I need to turn that off. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, and unfortunately, I've had family crises going on this week because I've got a granddaughter in the hospital. So, yeah, it's been kind of crazy, and people are calling me. So, back to Shel. Are you ready there? Or maybe not. We'll give her a minute. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. I'm gonna roll it over here and figure out where I want my line to go, and then I'm gonna get a ruler why. Yeah, Donna Williams says she can only stay half an hour. Better than nothing. And my, when I turn it the other way, does not stay up there. So I need to turn it this way so I can see the chat. Beverly Stout says, I enjoy making JJ's. Belinda says, good morning. Edwidge, hello, Peg, hello, Shel. Cindy Bagley, hello. Everybody's saying hello. Glad
hello.
time. Nobody's late, trust me. If anybody's late, it's me. I didn't even know if I was going to make it. I was at the grocery store with my husband, and then he says, you know, we need to go back to that other store and get a watermelon. I said, really? we need a watermelon right now today? So, yeah, we have a watermelon.
Well, watermelons are nice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's calling you.
I know, but I need to tell her that I don't know what's going on. Excuse me just a minute.
I can switch back to me. So I went and I cut that cardboard envelope on my guillotine cutter, which I didn't want to carry over here. The back part of it ended up, ooh, it's got sticky stuff on it. Yuck.
Uh-oh. A sticky situation.
Indeed. Anyway, it had like extra pieces that I had to end up tearing off. You know, like the flap was attached to it, but that's going to be on the back anyway. So
yeah,
hopefully I've got everything under control.
Well, that would not be our normal mode of operation, Shel.
No. So this will be a long, skinny journal, but I'm going to attempt my first time ever of doing Japanese stab binding. Hopefully I can figure that out without too much trouble. But first I'm going to do the cover because I like to decorate the covers before I put them on. And I should gesso all these, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it as I go, as I do the journal. It would be smart to gesso all these pages on the front and back. That's the part I don't like about junk journaling. Gessoing, don't like it. So are you there, Peg, or did you take off? She must have taken off. Anyway, so I've got some super heavy gesso, and I'm going to gesso the front and backs of the covers that I'm going to put on, and then we'll decorate them, do something, I don't know what. Completely winging it at this point. Maybe I don't want the super heavy gesso, actually. I think I want regular old gesso. So I was overcutting, and I don't know what Peg's actually going to do. What did you decide?
We don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm putting up whatever I can put up, honestly, because, yeah, my daughter's trying to contact me. I hope it's not an emergency. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it was like last week. Someone just randomly calls me that, you know, never calls me. And then it's like, oh no, is there something wrong? Is there a car wreck or is somebody in the ditch? I don't know. So then you have to answer.
Yeah.
It's like if it was just a regular person that's constantly bugging you, you wouldn't worry about it. But
well, you know, the granddaughter that's in the hospital, it's actually her birthday today. She's turning 24. And what a way to spend it, you know.
Yeah, that's no fun.
So we're just doing what we can do.
Yep.
So yeah, Deborah says airplane mode, and I get that. I did that, but on my watch, but I don't think I can shut my phone down just because we have emergencies going on. So
I'm still not seeing the chat, so I hope you're seeing it because it's not showing up on my phone. Well, I was hoping maybe my phone would do it, but
it's not showing me how many are in here. Do you have anything?
At the bottom the thing says 11 viewers, but okay. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't either. So this journal, how big is this thing? I had a ruler out here. I'm not disoriented or anything this morning.
It's all about the watermelon, man. It's all about the watermelon.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, and then he had to go to a garage sale around the corner, so he couldn't even help carry in the groceries. I'm saying, really? Oh, my gosh. They just don't get that I'm busy. Okay.
No, so they don't, actually.
This is like 8 1/4. And I think I want about 1/4 inch on either side. So I'm going to cut this down to, I think, 8 3/4. This piece of, I picked this one. This piece, which I think is kind of pretty.
Is that a jelly print?
It's a...
Something's happening with your sound.
You know me, my dollar store stuff.
Oh, dollar store stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting my fingerprints in the gesso, trying to hold it down. Dang it. And all over my hands, of course.
And then, you know, I had started sewing this other one, and my husband has a sewing machine because he wouldn't leave mine alone. And I foolishly went in and used his because I didn't want to drag mine out. Yeah, was not working. So that's why this isn't ready to roll, because it's a disaster. But I can cut this down.
Well, my covers are now completely curled, so I need to dry them, and see, they've curled into heat gun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mute. So Peg, you have to talk. Okay?
Oh no, not that. Not that. Not a talker. So, you know, first thing is, I'll tell you right off, guys, I am not a seamstress. The only crafting sewing that I do is stuff like this, where I absolutely have to cover something. And as you can see, I can't even do a straight line. So I don't care, because it's all mine. But I would never, ever do this for somebody else, because it's just a disaster. And what I got to line this with was this cotton batting. So I was going to cut a piece and put a piece of that inside, and I was going to make a really nice journal, but maybe not out of this morning. So yeah, I don't know why that doesn't scroll. We've got more stuff coming in. I don't know. It's one of those things. So if you guys are not aware of what's going on right now, let me show you this stuff. What we have currently is Love Fall Art is a creative arts collaboration. So starting yesterday and going through the weekend, there are going to be a lot of videos up on YouTube with the hashtag Love Fall Art. And it's because we've done this for a couple of years. It's 2017 for this year. And then on Saturday, we have an art hop that I think you guys might enjoy. And that will be hashtag Art Hop Primitive. That's Art Hop Primitive. And if you don't know where you are right now, it's Art Joy is Sharing Live. But my channel is Peg Robinson. And when Shel comes back, she can tell you about her channel, because I keep forgetting what the name of hers is, because it's different than her blog. So I'm sorry, Shel. Anyway.
Actually, nobody knows how to pronounce it anyway. It's the puzzle Paper Octio Studio.
is that what your YouTube is, or is that puzzle thing?
Shel C Paper Actio Studio.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go cut this down, and I'll be back. You want to take her away?
All right. Yep. What I ended up doing is spritzing these backs with a little bit of water in a spritz bottle to try to get them to lay down. They were super curled. And now I'm gessoing the backside. That's not exactly interesting. So I still don't have a story to tell you. I told you my spider story last week, so I don't know. These are the junk mails that that had the spider in the middle that I thought was a spider that ended up just being a really, really good picture of a spider. Still the same junk mail. And I can't answer any of your questions because I can't see them. So, oh, this is the same side. Oh, darn it. I don't even know what I'm doing. So gessoing isn't very interesting, but are you back, Peg?
I'm here. It's Beverly saying, "Hang in there, ladies. We don't really have any questions. It's just she just says it's will get better. So thank you. I'm hoping for better. I really am. This has been a crazy week. I worked a long day, about 16 hours on Tuesday, because we had school board elections here. So I was working the elections. So that kind of wiped out that day. And then with all this other stuff going on, it's like, whoa, craziness.
So as far as things coming up, there is one other hop that you did not mention, or collaboration, that's on the 30th. You're in that one, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's
Stranger
so far out.
Things.
I just didn't even think about it, you know.
Oh, well, I already did the art for it, so.
Oh, well, you're ahead of the game.
That's it's due very soon. You better get busy. I think it's due next Monday or Sunday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying what?
I'm saying you're busy. Busy.
Well, I did my first installment for Love Fall Art yesterday so that I could post it yesterday. So
I did it the day before. So.
Yeah. You know, I'm always a day late. So.
Oh, and then one other thing you didn't mention is the design team we both joined.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, that I've already talked about it on my channel for those of you who watch my channel, but a friend of ours who makes YouTube videos named Jerry is opening a I don't know if she would be opposed to how I'm saying this, but it's kind of like a junk store. She's a junker, and she picks up all these really cool old things from different places that she goes, you know, old bottle caps and buttons and broken jewelry and old journals and paper and all that stuff that is so popular right now for doing recycling into your art. So the name of her store is Recycled Parts No. 4 Art. And she invited both Peg and I to join her design team. So for October, November, and December, we'll be making projects using recycled materials from her store.
So now that's the one thing, Shel, that I have done.
Yeah, I saw that you had made things, and I haven't even looked at them. I mean, I've looked at the stuff, and that's as far as I got. So, yeah. See, I'm ahead of you on one thing, but you're ahead of me on the other thing.
Yeah, well, mine through January are finished for that one, so yay.
How unfair. Mine are not even started.
Okay, so let's see what people are saying.
All right.
Donna says Actio. It's a cactus native to where Shel lives. That's absolutely right.
That is correct. Somebody's been paying attention. There's actually one in my yard, and I love that plant. It's like a spiky. It's probably 8 or 9 or 10 feet tall. Just single spikes that go straight up. Nothing branches off. It just goes straight up, and then the leaves come out right on those sticks that they're like little round leaves all the way around the stick, and then when it's blooming in the spring, the top turns red. So it's a really cool plant. That's the reason I named my studio after that, because I like it. It's my favorite. I think that these things probably need one more drying, and then I'm going to start decorating them. So I guess I'll mute again. Are you ready to talk? I think Peg is frozen. Is she frozen? I don't really want to start collaging these until they're completely dry. They're still kind of floppy. Yep, it's just me. I believe Peg has just crashed. So I guess I will, I don't want to make loud noises and dry these, but they do need to be dried. So I guess I will, and I'll just talk over the top of it. So I didn't end up having enough pieces of junk journal quite to do all 30 days of November, but we do have a prompt list that we make up our own prompt list instead of doing the ones that someone else provides. And we've been doing that for several years. And that the first year there was 4 of us doing it. And then it went down to kind of like 2.5 or 3 people doing it. And then this year, I think it's just going to be Peg and I doing it. But we do produce a video every single day in November of art journal pages based on the prompts that we made up. So we will be posting those on like Instagram and different places probably towards the end of October. So I encourage everyone to join in. That would be fun. I wonder if she needs an invite back in here. She probably does. I guess I'll do that. Wow. Invite people. Copy. Go to the other thing. It would be really great if this wasn't quite this difficult. Paste. Hopefully that works. So now where's the screen again? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with my covers, they're still floppy. They were a lot less floppy, so they're probably not completely dry, but I'm just going to wing it. I guess I'll cover the sides that are most ugly. That's always a good policy. And I'm going to use various, what am I going to use? Probably, maybe I'll start with some spray. Why not? Because we like to make a mess. Start with some spray and some stencils, and then we'll go on with some collaging and I don't know, maybe some stamping. I'm not really sure. But I found this stencil that I really love and couldn't find under something when I was moving my stuff the other day. Still working on my studio. Come on, Peg, come back. Because I can't see anybody's comments, so I don't know what you're saying. We'll go with the favorite Harlequin again. Why not? What else do we have? Maybe one of these Andy Skinner. On Facebook the other day, I saw a comment by Andy Skinner that made me laugh. It said, just because I drink rum in the morning doesn't mean that I'm an alcoholic. It just means I'm a pirate. I thought that was really funny. Obviously, if you were a pirate, you would be drinking rum all the time, right? Because that's stereotypically what pirates do. But I would think that in actuality, they probably didn't, because they'd have to keep their wits about them. That's probably good, I guess. I don't know. What else? That's probably good. Put the big stencil book away. So I've got little dots. I've got Harlequin diamonds. I've got triangles. And then I've got this one that has different words on it from Andy Skinner. So let's try those. And let's use colors we didn't use. You know, of course, I'm going to grab the purple to start out with. What colors don't I normally use that are in here? That's what we need to find. That maybe. The name of this color, no, that's not it. Where's the one that has a weird name? Is it this one? No. I know it's here somewhere. Or did I lose it? For some reason, it's not in here. It's very strange. It's not. This is plum, and this one that's probably too light. Let's go with that one. I did have one named Petrol, and it just doesn't seem to be here. Plum and mint and what else? I guess I'll just go with the lavender. I don't know what happened to Petrol, but it was an interesting color. It was kind of a teal. It's gone missing. Let's start with the word stencil. Why not? And I think I can spray both of these at the same time. I don't think I have to do one at a time. This one's sticking to the stuff. So Peg still hasn't come back. I don't know what happened. I hope her whole internet didn't go down. This one isn't going to spray after all that decision making. And I just made a big wet mess. There we go. That's a pretty color. That's mint. You would think mint would be a lot lighter than that. But I guess it isn't. I guess it's like mint leaves, like real mint leaves, as opposed to that pansy color that most people would call mint. Where's my towel? There it is. Okay. So I've made a good mess now with that one. I needed a bucket of water. Okay. So I ran out of baby wipes and I haven't gone to the dollar store to buy any more. So I'm going to go ecologically correct and use a old nasty towel. And drying again. I'm planning on... there you are.
I'm so sorry. My computer decided that a virus was attacking me and it shut down.
How weird. I was getting a little bit panicked because it's kind of quiet in here, but it's just me.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was just one of those
also,
things.
I can't read comments, so because I don't have any screens up that have comments, so I'm like, I don't know what anyone's saying, and I don't know what to say.
So Candy's saying she hopes my granddaughter gets well soon. Donna Williamson says, well, I'll watch the rest on video. Mom got here from Florida. Yay. Glad people are safe from Florida. Tell Mom hi, Donna. Hope things go well for her. And Rebecca Bullock, I have Petrol too. And then she's saying goodbye. And Bev Stout says pretty color.
Oh, the mint. Yeah, the mint is a pretty color.
So,
all right. Well, get busy on your journal then. I'll turn the screen to you because this is kind of boring.
Well,
none of my sprays are working.
Mine's really boring right now too because what I was trying to do was get a message out to people that were here. Because I don't know if anybody knows we're live today.
Well, some people do because they're here.
So I was just trying to hit our groups.
Okay. So last week I had great luck with these sprays. They were working great, and this week they all refused to work.
Are those the Marabou?
Yep, the Marabou Art sprays. They're now all clogged. I don't know what's going on with my life. I'm done with sprays because I can't get them to work, so I'll worry about that later, and we'll move on to something else. I know. We'll move on to some nice acrylic paint.
There you
How's
go.
that for a plan? Stupid sprays. Stupid technology. Stupid everything. I'm ready to have a temper tantrum.
Okay, it's the 14th, not the 13th.
Are you sure? This other stencil is so dirty. I really need to go wash it, but the things that we do live.
I know. It's crazy. Well, I can't even get to my screen because I have other applications that want to load now.
Something is going on with your computer. It's acting weird.
Yeah, it is acting weird. You're right. I don't know what's going on. So while I was piddling around waiting for the computer to come up, what I did was I took some heat and bond and applied it to a piece of card because I was going to make a cover. But let's go back to what we were doing with this other one since we were so rudely interrupted. So I took my corner rounder and I rounded off the corners of the placemat just so that it kind of mimics what's going on with the journals that I'm going to have inside here. And
so are you going to attach the cover, or are you just going to just let it wrap around it? It looked like you had a moleskin. I'm not really sure what you're doing over there.
I do have moleskins, and what I'm going to do is make it so that I can slip things in and out of this cover. This is just so that it's keeping things nice.
Oh, so like a book sleeve.
Not permanent cover.
A book sleeve. Yeah. Like back in the days when you had a textbook, you could get one of those covers to cover it so that.
Did you see those ones that Shannon Green is selling?
I didn't actually.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's very much like that. It's a cover for these.
Uh-huh.
And what I'm going to do now that I have my cover started, because this is big enough that I can build it out and put several books in here. But what I want to do is I want to put some grommets or something through here because I'm going to use some elastic cording on the inside that I'll be able to slip my journal into.
Oh, are you going to put multiple elastics inside?
Yes,
or
I am.
Just, okay. All right. I made one of those.
I bet you did.
I know where you're going now. I've figured it out.
Well, I mean, if you look at those ones that they're selling, like at Michael's, I think it's, who is it? Davenport, Jane Davenport is selling ones like this. Well, you can make your own. You don't have to go in there and buy one. And, you can put anything on this you want. I have this particular backing. And what I was thinking about doing is I bought a couple of these because I thought, maybe I could put some of that heat and bond on here and actually put a nice canvas on it, a painted canvas. So those are in my future. It just didn't happen this week.
All right. Well, I think I've picked some colors now, maybe.
Janice says you may be having issues, but you sound like you're having loads of fun. Well, I roll with the times. Right?
We're having tons of fun. Okay, I think this is what I'm going to do so I can switch it back over here while you're cutting elastic. That's probably... I've got out some Dilutions paints, and I still have my same stencils out. And this thing is pretty much getting dry now. That's what I have so far with the sprays. And then I've got some cosmetic wedges, of course. because I'm going to put this paint right on my face and we're going to do a makeup tutorial. Okay, that's not true. This is not a makeup tutorial.
Something new.
Some of my dilutions paints are super gloppy, and I keep putting more water in there. But what Peg had done, I noticed, was to put some Floetrol in there. So maybe I'll try that one of these days.
Yeah, I used a number of different products just to thin it out because, yeah, they really had gotten not nice.
Gloppy.
Yeah, that's
very
the word.
Gloppy.
That's the word, but I didn't really want to, get personal. So I'm just going to mark my cover here. Center is about 6 inches.
Switch it back to you. There you go.
So I'm going to do top and bottom at about, I should probably turn this around. Top and bottom at about, oh, I didn't cut that corner. I have to go back and cut my corner. The things we miss, goodness. Okay, so that's 6 inches. So since you didn't see it before, here it goes. I'm using the 1/2 inch and I'm just going to trim that off. And of course, this is plastic, so it doesn't want to cut perfectly. So you just take a pair of scissors and round that out. And so what I want to do is go on either side of these marks. And I have, what did I do with it? I have my grommet tool here. And these are grommets from the hardware store. And they're different than an eyelet. If you guys have seen, I know you guys have probably all seen eyelets, but the thing about a grommet, it has a front and a back. So rather than tapping it and curling it over, you put this through the hole. Let me see if I can see my own picture so that I know what's up there. You put this through the hole, and then you're going to slip this over the top before you actually turn that edge down. So you've got a nice metal piece on both sides of your fabric. And, since that's where the wear and tear is going to be on this, that's what I decided to use was grommets.
Those look like heavy-duty babies. They're not going to, you're not messing around.
You're right. I'm not. And the thing about it is, I wonder if I have the right size here. Probably not. When you cut the hole, you want to make sure that you're cutting a hole to fit the through, but not too big for the whole thing to fall through. So I need to find the right size hole punch.
Is it the big one from the crocodile?
It
kind of looks like it might be.
It's probably a little bit bigger than the big one from the crocodile. So this is a punch. It's like a Japanese screw punch.
Oh, I was wanting to get a screw punch because to do this binding that I was planning on doing today, if I get to it,
yeah,
I wanted to use a screw punch for that because it would have been really good. But I don't have one, so I'm going to use a regular old punch.
Yeah. Well, they work, and the hammer and whatever you've got, I'm not saying you have to have all these tools. Because
it would just be nice.
I mean, I have just, in the past, I've just taken an awl and punched something through there, so.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to do today is use an awl.
Yeah. So.
Or maybe a regular handheld punch. I'm not sure. It'll depend on how well it goes. So I've got 2 layers of paint on. I guess I can switch back over.
Oh, they're saying yay for the makeup. So, you might have to do a little face painting here.
No. maybe fantasy face painting, like I could turn myself into a tiger or something, but not actual makeup. I'm done with that. I was a makeup artist in Los Angeles, and I don't ever want to see another foundation or concealer or mascara or eyeliner for the rest of my natural born life. Don't like it. So I used a pomegranate seed and cut grass so far over my mint spray using the Harlequin stencil. And now I'm going to switch to this stencil that I found that I had lost from Tim Holtz. What's it called? It doesn't have a name. It's called THS002. That's what it's called. Okay. Very fancy. TH for Tim Holtz, S for I don't know what.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just don't want to say. Could be that.
I wonder if I want to.
So should I switch back to your screen? Are you doing something fun? Is it more interesting than stenciling?
I'm calculating. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. I'm going to make noise.
That sounds like a ka-chunk.
That was a punch.
Okay, a big punch.
Punching a hole.
All right.
Let's see if this is going to fit. It's tight, but it's better tight than loose, right?
Better tight than loose. I agree.
Yep. I think I'll go with that.
All right. So this color was what? Cherry pie or something. My cherry pie.
That's a nice color.
Yeah, cherry pie. Using ones I don't normally use. Then I think we're going to throw some Tangerine Dream. That sounds like somebody's been smoking the wacky tobacco. I had a tangerine and a yellow dream and a pink bubbles dream.
So if you guys haven't seen how this punch works,
then I better switch the screen. Ha! There you go. Show them how that punch works. The one that makes lots of noise.
Yeah. See, it has different sizes. I mean, you can get really, really tiny. Whoa. Really, really tiny like this. Or you can get up to a nice big size like this. And it comes with a setter and all of that kind of stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm just going on. Why does that not look even? Measure twice, cut once, right?
That's what they say, but I just never listen.
Yeah. She likes to fly by the seat of her pants. Okay,
yes.
So all right, it is actually where it's supposed to be. So, okay, so I'm just going to put this where I'm going to punch my hole. And I'm coming in about a 1/4 inch from the edge. And I just push because it has a screw action and it goes down and it punches the hole just like that. I'm going to come out here about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to punch a hole there. And then I'm going to come down into the middle approximately. You don't have to be perfect with that. And I'm going to punch a hole right in the middle because we need a binding that wraps all the way around our book to hold it together when we're throwing it in our purse, right? Sure we do.
Whatever she said. So I was just wondering as I was stenciling away, I know when I watch other people do art on videos and they're stenciling and they're trying to be random, I watch them and I notice that they are not random, and then, or else I notice a spot that I think should have some, and I'm like, hey, you should put some right there. Hey, come on, put some right there. And they never do. I wonder if people do that when they watch my videos.
Oh, I look at things, with my eye, because we all have our own aesthetic.
Right.
And so when I'm watching other videos, I do that too. I'll look at things and I'll say, I would have done it this way, or I would have done it that way.
Like, you should do it my way. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay.
So
I'm keep pushing these grommets through my Dollar Tree placemat. And I'm sorry, Shel has gone away and I'm getting multiple calls from my family. As soon as she comes back, I'm going to go in the other room and take a phone call. I'm sorry. I apologize for this. And so I have those all poked through, and now I'm going to, probably not the best day to stream. Susan says, I'm here late as I just got home from Aquafit. Well, good for you for going to Aquafit. So what did I miss? Not much. My computer shut down. I had a very bad start to the morning. So this little piece, you're just going to set your grommet in there and cover the top. And then you're going to use a, why is this not right? Where's my other piece?
So I decided to just set these covers aside to dry instead of trying to dry them.
Shel, I'll be right back. I'm getting multiple calls and I'm afraid it's an emergency. I'll be right back.
Okay. I hope it's not an emergency. So I decided instead of drying those babies that I would just go ahead and set them aside and work on something else. So what I'm going to do and what I wanted to talk about is thread and needles, because I'm going to be doing this stab binding on this thing. I'm going to have to punch all these, but what you're going to need if you're going to do any type of a pamphlet binding or stab binding or any kind of binding like that is you're going to need needles. And you're going to need a needle that you're able to thread something fat through. And the most common thing that I see people doing book binding with is waxed linen thread or waxed thread. And I don't have that, but I do have this beeswax, which is just a bar, literally a bar of beeswax. And then I have these different hemps. And I think I'm going to use, looking at the thing, I think I'm going to use red. I think I'm going to use red. And I want to wax it myself. And then I also want, well, I know this is, I just put those on the floor. Now I can't reach them because I'm tethered with my headset. I'm wearing a headset, so I can't get very far away from my desk. And I threw those, of course, on the ground far away from my desk because that's what I would do. I think I'm going to need approximately 5 times the width. It's better to have more than less, and I think that's probably long enough, hopefully. If it's not, we're in trouble. But I'm just going to use this dyed hemp, and I'm going to wax it myself using this. So all I'm going to do is just drag this hemp along the edge of this bar, and that should turn it into some sort of a wax. It's not linen, obviously, but it's wax thread because it's got wax on it, and that should help it to glide through better. So that's just a little tip if you don't have wax linen thread. I don't even know where you get that. Do they have it on Amazon? I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, they probably do. I got mine from a book binding store.
See, I don't have a book binding store. Why does Tucson, Arizona have nothing? I don't know. Or if they do, I don't know where it is.
What part of live do my children not understand?
Oh, are they just randomly calling you?
A really big favor because she's trying to give me unlimited access on my phone, but it's like This is not the time of day.
Let's do this in the evening.
Yeah. I'm going to mute you anyway because I'm going to be banging. So I'm going to put you on mute for a little bit.
Oh, Peg, you're banging.
Yeah, I'm banging.
We be banging, hashtag. Okay, so that's probably waxy enough. So that's one part of my little project. Then I'm going to have to make a template to make some punches. There's one really weird, like little, I don't know what that is, blob on my thread that I'm just going to cut off. I hope it doesn't change the integrity of it. I don't think it does. It's just, this is just like twisted twine, you know, made out of hemp. So that should be good. That should be great. That's done. All right. The easiest way I can think of to make a template is to just make it out of a piece of cardstock the same size as this. I don't really want to use one of these. So you can watch her while I run to get a template. Even though she's muted, you can watch her, I guess. She's not doing anything. Get busy, Missy. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is just a piece of plain cardstock. And what I'm going to do first, to do the stab binding, I need like 1 inch 1 inch space up here. So I'm going to mark and draw a line. The only thing I'm worried about doing this on camera for the first time I've ever done it is that I'm going to get it screwed up somehow, but hopefully I won't. So this is where my holes are going to be along this line. That's 1 inch from the end. So everything is going to be bound on this edge of it. And the way that I'm going to, rather than trying to measure this, the way that I'm going to figure out placement of the holes, I know that I want 4 holes. So I'm going to fold this paper 3 times. Hopefully I can do it. It's going to get pretty thick, but that's the way that I'm planning on marking my holes. I think I'm just going to have to do this. I probably should have just used a piece of regular paper instead of cardstock. That would have been smart, but I did my best. So if you can't figure out what I'm doing, I'm kind of, this last one, when I tried to fold, when I was going to try to fold it one more time, it was just too much. So then when I unfold this, I'll end up with, I should end up with 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, it worked. So then I know that I should be able to have 1, 2, let's see how it works. 1, 2, 3. That's not going to work. So let's do 1 here, 1 here, then 1 here, and 1 here. So it's every two sections, but then on this one, it's like only 1 section. Does that make sense? Can everyone see that? I don't know if you can. These are where my holes are going to be. And that's going to be my 4-hole stab binding. So now that I have my template, I can start stabbing holes. And I'm going to get this out because I want to make sure that I don't stab right through my new craft mat. That would be sad. I guess Peg is still working on holes. She's still setting eyelets, I think. So she's not talking. She must be pounding. So I'll go ahead and start punching these. I know that I can't punch through all of them at once. I mean, this is a lot of pages, so I'm just going to do a few at a time, and maybe 5 or something. I don't know, 5, maybe about this many.
I'll tell you, Shel, the unfortunate part is I have an actual grommet tool, and I can't find it. And this is just not cutting it, you know, and it makes so much noise trying to curl this edge. You know, these are actual meant for sailcloth. So I mean, they're real sturdy. It's not like.
So are you using that is like a spring-loaded one or something?
Well, this is that. Yeah, it works like a Japanese screw punch, but I was trying to spread it with this, and it just makes so much noise.
It's one of those days.
It's one of those days where, you know, we really probably should have put a little bit of thought into this before we got here.
But, I put a little bit of thought.
I did too, but, you know, I had 6 different ways I could go, and none of them's working. Oh, what can I say? And then where did I put my phone? Oh, here it is. Let's see. Do we have anybody talking to us? Because you can't see it yet, can you?
I have no way of figuring out how I'm supposed to be able to see it. I don't know. Just don't know. It's not going to work.
Dawn has joined us, and Michael Ann, and they're saying hello, because we're certainly not talking to anybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh my goodness, what a day. What a day. I'd swear it is the 13th instead of the 14th. What do you think?
That seems like it. Seems like Friday the 13th. So I've put my few little pages that I'm planning on punching, and I put my template on top, and then I've got these bowl clips, and I'm clipping it to try to keep it from moving anywhere. Then I'm going to use this awl, and I'm going to stab through it. That's my plan. It seems to be working. With a little bit of elbow grease, it seems to work. So just going right on that intersection of that line, and that should punch them. So I've got holes. All this stuff is pretty thick because it's the junk mail, the card junk mail. So I'm going to have to do this multiple times. So hopefully somebody else has something else more interesting than this to watch. How about you, Peg? She's still stabbing things. She seems to be hammering and stabbing and hammering and stabbing. I think I have like a manual spreader thing that, you know, is just kind of like a I don't know, like I can't even imagine what it could be called, but you put it on top of the grommet and then you hammer it and it splits it and spreads it. Like real old style, nothing fancy. Okay, so here's the next set. And we'll see if we can stab them. Oh, I might have made this one a little bit too thick. Ugh. Put some elbow grease into it. That's tricky, but I want to get them all done quickly. I don't want to pussyfoot around here. I want to get it done. People want to see something, not boring, punchy things. All right, that's the next set. It looks like she's got a hammer out. If she had a hammer, she'd hammer in the morning. She might be inclined to hammer in the evening and all over this world. I'm not sure. A big mallet now. She's getting out the big guns. I'll have to interpret. She's got some very heavy duty, huge grommets going on there. So it's not surprising that she has to have something big to do it. Okay, I've got one more stack. And then I should have at least these holes punched through all my pages. I wish that I would have had time to gesso them, but I'm going to do it as I go. I'm going to do it as I go. I don't know why she's putting 2 at the bottom, but I guess she'll tell us in a minute. And 1 in the middle.
Yes.
Maybe to thread.
Hammer. Woohoo!
Woohoo! You had a hammer and you were hammering her in the morning.
You betcha. Well, I thought I was going to have to go another way. You know, we have, I don't know about you guys, but I have stuff like this from way back when. And I was almost desperate enough to just come in and grab something else and use it, because think about all these things that we still have in our stash. This is a little grommet that you could put on there, and you could just, you know, bend the feet over, and you could actually put one on the front and the back. So think about what you have in your stash that you can use. These grommets that I'm using were part of my stash, and they are really heavy duty grommets. I don't think I will ever have a problem with them coming apart.
Probably not.
Dawn says there are 16 watching.
Oh, thank you.
So, and my stuff is falling out the end. Okay, get that out of here. We're done with that. So you guys can see now that, oh, maybe you can't. I guess I got to switch it. Okay. I'm still seeing you.
No, you're up. I have you selected on the screen, so I think everyone should be able to see you.
Okay. Well, I can't see me on my phone, so I don't know. Whatever. It's technology, right?
Yeah, we should be better at this, but
okay. So
I don't.
Here's my cording, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in through one hole. Let's see. Come out and in, and come out and go back in, and then go down to the bottom, down here, and go back out. But I didn't want to waste any. Go back in. Come down.
Oh, I see.
Bottom.
That's the reason you put 2.
Right, because I'm doing a couple of spots to put things on too.
Smart.
So now I can cut this off, and I want it tight enough that it's going to hold my books in place. So, you know, not too tight, but tight enough that it's going to hold. I'm just going to knot that off with a square knot.
Your square knot's very hip. Yeah. Because it's hip to be square.
So, these are my Moleskine books that are going to go in there. And you can do this a couple of different ways. Like if you have multiple books that you want to carry in here, you can actually hook them together too with a string. And I'm going to go across the room, and I'm going to grab some more Dollar Tree items that I can use in here.
Okay, I'll switch back to me then. Okay, so I just punched the holes in my 2 covers, which are not completed, but I'm going to go ahead and bind and complete the decoration on the covers after it's already bound. So just making sure that my awl has punched through all of those. The awl has punched through all. Yes, yes. Because I'm crazy like that. And then I can get rid of my protector thing and start trying to do my binding now. So this is what the book is going to look like. Oh dear, there's still wet paint on it. I thought it would be dry by now. I don't have any baby wipes. Need to go to the dollar store like Peg. Dry. Okay. Hopefully everything's all still lined up in there and we can get started with this. So I need a needle. And I think my thread color was a good choice because it goes pretty well. I think I'm going to use the shorter needle. Where did it go? Lost. Okay, I'm going to use the longer needle because the short, oh no, there it is. I found it. It's in there somewhere. This one has a really big head, so I don't have to get a magnifying glass to put it together. And I'm going to start kind of, let's see, about halfway through. I'm going to put in my first stitch because I want the thread end to be, I want the knot to be on the inside of the book, not the outside. So it needs to be like that. Like I need enough that I can do it. Let's see, then I'm going to go, oh boy, this is going to be fun. Stay lined up, please. This first one's not going to want to stay lined up. It's going to be tricky to get through all of them. But I think once I've done this one, it'll all be much easier to get through all my pages. Come on. I'm going to go through. Ugh. Oh dear, I think I'm going to need pliers. This is going to kill my fingers. Oh, is there pliers in here? Yeah, well, needle nose pliers. That's not really helpful. I'll flip you over to, I don't know if Peg's doing anything, but I'll flip you over there. I got to go get my pliers.
Here. So what I'm trying to show you is this is a, let's see, this is a journal, one of those moleskin journals, and this is just going to slip underneath this band and lay right in here. And what you can make multiple journals like this. And these are those headbands that you get from the dollar store. And you can take these things and put them, try to find the middle here. There it is, right there. So I can put this onto one journal, and then I can come around on another one and find the middle. And looks close enough. I can slip that one onto a band also. And then I've got multiple journals that are linked together here with these headbands. And then you can take these and you can slip that underneath your cord, so that now I have two captured with the same cording this way in here. So now I have all three in here, but what I want to do is I want to create out of this grommet, I want to create a belly band for this. So that's next. What are you working on, Shel?
So I got my pliers and I've now pulled the string all the way through. So this is my first stitch. And then I'm going to go over to the next one here and go down through all these layers, which I thought would be easier now that I've got one in, but where the heck is the hole?
It's gone. It's gone.
Yep, and this thread is pretty thick, so.
I'm not sure who she's talking to. That's from Rebecca.
What is she saying?
You can hold them together with a binder clip. She must be talking to you. You working with pages?
Yeah, I need to be able to open it so that I can find the holes. So that's the reason that I'm
okay.
Not doing it.
Just suggestions here.
Yep, good suggestion.
So I'm sorry, Shel, go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. Okay, did that one get loose now? Why is that so loose? This seemed like it should have been a lot easier than it actually is. It seems like a pretty simple binding, but then I'm pulling it all apart.
Mary's saying we're all doing a great job. Thank you, Mary. It's been a frustrating morning for me. So I can't really see in the phone where we are with the video, but I can see the video on my screen, but I can see the chat down here. And poor Shel can't see the chat at all. So we're just winging it.
We're winging it.
So okay, what I want to do is create something on this band that keeps the edges nice. So do you need to show them something about your stab binding?
I switched it back to you because I just figured you were talking. So.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is, number one, I'm going to pick one of these Tim Holtz pieces that I'm going to slip on this band. If I can get it through there, I don't know. Those are kind of narrow. I might have to go to the other style. Oh, I know what I can do. I can put those onto another piece. Just a moment.
There we go. Okay. Now, which side was the front? Okay, I'm back. So I've got that one through. I've pulled this other one tight, and I've clipped the string on the inside so that it can't move as much. And I'm going to go around the back again. This is kind of like a blanket stitch on the edge of a blanket. Some people call them. It looks kind of like that when it's finished. It's got stitches around the edges, stitches around everything. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this kind or not, but that's what it looks like in the end. Pull this sucker through. Ugh. Come on, baby.
That sounded painful.
I have to really just it's like tricky. So then my next stitch from there, so that's now got there and there. My next stitch is going to be to come over here to the edge and do it through those. I think this definitely would have been better with punched holes rather than done with the awl, because I think I would have been able to get my thread through a lot easier if I had punched the holes. So if I do this again next time I do it, I will literally punch holes instead of doing it with an awl. You know, have like more open holes.
Yeah, I get you.
Yep.
I get you.
Yep. So are you embellishing your belly band?
I am. I'm actually cutting some slits in a spare piece that I cut off of that placemat, because I'm going to run the headband through this.
That's the plastic placemat that you use to make the cover?
Placemat, yeah.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking is, well, it helps if I start at the right side. What I'm thinking is I want this to kind of wrap the edge here to protect it. And then I'm going to attach one of these Tim Holtz pieces. So I'm gonna bring this up over the top, go in through this first slit, and then come back out on the other side. Over here. And I actually, when I cut this in two, because remember, this is the dollar store headband, I cut it where it's glued, so it's not going to unravel. Just a little tip when you're doing stuff like this. So then this will slide down like this, and it's going to wrap the edge once I get it situated. But I got to get back in the hole, which is going to be the challenge. Because I have to unwrap it now and go back in through that middle hole.
Oh, that's always fun.
Probably would be better if I didn't have all these journals in here in the way, but I wanted to show you guys how this worked with a journal in place. So let me pull this out, and then I'll stick this back in.
Well, I can show you guys the next stitch. So I've got my third stitch around, and now the next one is to go down and in across the bottom through the same hole. And once you've got stuff through the hole already, it works better. I still have to use my, about ran out of thread there. Okay, so that's going to be around the bottom there, like that. So it makes kind of a square at the end of the page, or at the end of the top, or whatever. Then now this right here doesn't have anything across it, but this one does on this side. So this goes into this one and comes out here. Ugh. Make sure you make noise when you're doing it.
For sure. Always.
So now that's crossed and that's crossed, but I still need to go up here to the top, or I guess it's the top or the bottom, or I don't know which it is. So I'm going to go back in here on this one. And this is the original hole. Come on, go through. There we go. I hope this is making sense. It's something that's simple, but yet one of those things is like, what? So once this is coming out here, now I can start engaging my last hole, which is this one up at the top. And we got to find all the holes all the way through, get everything lined up. So I think when this is finished, it's pretty elegant looking, because it's, I don't know, it's just, it's that Japanese aesthetic, but applied in a little bit more chaotic way by making a really crazy cover. If it was purely Japanese, it would just be a very soothing green or something, not all this chaos like I like. But I like the way the stitching looks. Okay, so that's the top hole. Of course, I'm going to wrap it around and back through again. Oh man, come on. And I'm almost done. Got to wrap it around the top to make that little square corner look. And then it goes, so now all the whole line is across here. And there's only one that's not crossed here. So this is going to go back through here and then back to that place in the middle of the book, wherever it is, right here. Yep. And into there, see? And that's where the knot's going to be. I just have to get it in there. And then I'll just tie a square knot and the binding will be complete. So back to Peg.
So I've just been putting the belly band on. As you can see, I've created this little flap, and I'm gonna slide this over to the edge because I want it to overlap around here, and it'll conform eventually. And I don't have as many books in here as it's going to hold totally, so I've left this with a little bit of looseness to it because I'm going to add some more journals in here because I'm going to have multiple journals I'm working on. I have another one upstairs that is part of that Brooklyn library project that's going to go in here, and so that's also going to come in. And then I picked up let's see, where is that? I got my weekly planner from the dollar store. So this also can slide right under and go in here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a little bit of, what do they call that stuff? Glossy accents. And I'm going to put some glue under here to hold that in place. And then I'm going to get some fasteners and fasten those ends down so that that stays in place. But basically, that is how the book goes together. And you can see this piece here in the middle is just tied through that grommet that's in the middle. And then you can continue to add with your other stretch cord or those Dollar Tree cordings. And yeah, create places for things to go, because here's another opportunity for me to add. I'll take this one out and show you once again. Here's a headband from Dollar Tree that's going to go on here in the middle, and then I can slip my weekly planner in here and just slide that under, and they go together like that. And then all of this can just slip underneath that band. And we have more that we've been able to fill in journal with, right?
Looks pretty awesome.
And this goes over, and I'll go get some hardware and I'll fix that, fix the fasteners and get my little embellishment on there. What do you think?
I like it.
Thank you. I do too. I've never done one of these before, so that was the challenge. Of course, all those journals I was showing you when we first started, I've never done before either. I've done journals, but you know me, I love the challenge. Got to get it up there where everybody can see me flub up.
Well, it took me like 5 minutes to finally get the needle to come through here in the middle, but I finally did, and now I'm tying off my binding, and then that'll be tucked down in there, and there you go. It's all bound, and I didn't run out of thread. And then I'll just, you know, as I'm going along, I'll just pull them like this and fold them down. And this will be my first page, and so on and so forth. Some of these pages are shorter. Some of them are longer. But that's how it is. That's how the journal is. So I just have to finish decorating the front and I'll be done and ready.
Cool.
And then, of course, I have to adjust all these pages. But besides that, I'm just about ready for November.
Yay. So this is the one you're going to use for November?
Yep.
Cool.
It's only got 27 pages or something, though, so I'm a few pages short. But I usually do Mission, Inspiration, and Pick a Stick Challenge in a bigger book. So I'll just do those in a different book, and then I'll fill this one up in November, and it will be complete.
Sounds like a plan.
So are we pretty much done? I don't know how long we've been going because it doesn't show me now for some reason.
It is now, it's 11:28 here, so we've been going for about an hour and a half. So that's probably good. I think they know how to fasten the piece on the front of my cover, and I think we've given them a pretty good overview. Any questions from the crowd?
Yeah, any questions about the bindings or anything? I'm going to finish decorating the rest of this, and I'll put
what's happening in November. Well, every November we do kind of our own version of NaNoJumo, which is doing a journal page every day. And for the last 2 years, we have actually videotaped those journal pages that we create. We have our own list that we collaborate on of what the prompts are going to be. And then we do journal pages. And so Shel is going to use the book that she created today mostly for that challenge.
Yep. And we will be sharing the prompts. We'll be sharing our prompts and asking everyone to join in this year. If you do join in to the challenge, don't be stressed about it. If you miss a day, or you miss 2 days, or you miss a week, the whole point of any of these challenges that we ever offer is that you are doing something creative.
Right.
So if the prompt that day doesn't speak to you, then just don't do it. Or if you need to grocery shop and cook that day, then don't worry about it. So
we don't want to create a problem for anybody. This is all meant to have fun, and it's like any of our projects. We don't want to send people out to buy things. Like I typically will try to use very cost-effective materials, like these things that I'm using today from the dollar store, or the recycled material from an old bag or something like that. Shel often uses cereal boxes and things like that in her work. So it doesn't necessarily have to be costly, and we don't expect everybody to have everything. That's why we try to show you other options.
And if you don't want to make your own journal for the November challenge, you can always use a composition book that you can buy for 50 cents at Walmart.
Exactly.
Mine here that I just made is free because it was junk mail.
Yeah.
This was junk mail. This was a cardboard envelope that I made the cover out of that was sent from Costco Pictures. That's like a harder envelope. I made the cover out of that. Then all the rest of this is purely things that I have received in the mail, advertisements that I've received in the mail. And this will turn out beautiful. I'll make, pages on each one. So you don't have to spend money to make a journal. Art journaling is for pleasure and for creative practice and experimentation. So don't go crazy and buy a $35 journal somewhere. Unless you want to. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, then obviously you can do that. But if you don't, we would prefer that you come and play with us rather than worrying about how much it's going to cost. So.
Okay, and Ian has a question for you, Shel. Says, is there a bradawl nail that you can to drive the hole through the paper? Well, you're using an awl, aren't you?
I used an awl, yeah, but you could use a nail. Just a broad nail would be fine. That would if you have like a piece of scrap wood and a fat builder's nail and a hammer, you could do your punches that way.
Absolutely. Or drill. You can get out your
Oh, that would be awesome, man. You could do them all at once with a drill.
Right?
Yeah, just pinch it down to a board and drill right through the sucker. Man, I should have done that.
There you go.
It'd take you like 3 seconds. Zoom, 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 zoom. That'd be great.
I think these are not going to work. I think I need to get some thread to sew that with. So I'm going to get some bookbinder thread.
Okay. So I think we're probably done with our broadcast. I'm going to finish decorating the front and back of this cover, and I'll post it on my Instagram and Facebook. And Peg's probably going to finish hers and post a photo later.
Exactly. And this is that wax linen that she's talking about. This is what it looks like.
And I had to wax my own, but that looks exactly like what I made.
Yeah. And
exactly,
honestly, like I was sewing when I was working the other day, and I took a big bar of beeswax with me, and the thread that I had, I just ran through the beeswax. So, you know, if you've got beeswax or a candle or something, you can wax your own. But you want something
cheap candle. You can do it with a cheap candle. So
yeah, this is real sturdy. It's not thin thread.
Yeah, the hemp that I used and waxed myself was very sturdy too. You saw how hard I was pulling on it. Exactly. If I'd done that with the regular thread.
Yeah. But next time you're going to get the power tools out, right?
Well, you know, I don't have power tools in my studio, but man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, Ian likes the power tools too, so it's like,
yeah, go Ian. I think he should drill them. That's great.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you for being here with us today. Even though we got off to a rough start and my computer died, and you know, my family's saying, "What the heck? You're not totally available to us." I don't get it.
Yeah. How could you not be available?
I know, right? So I just want to thank especially the people that come in live. If you're viewing this at a later date, this was a live video, and you won't be.
And thank you for viewing.
That was original. What you'll see are comments below. So if you want to leave us a comment, we'll respond. You know, we like to know that you've been here, even though you didn't join us live.
Yep. Absolutely. Leave us thumbs up, comment, all that type of stuff if you're watching and recording. Because these things are always available in recording too if you want, or if the binding that I did was confusing, you can always watch it on the recording as a slower speed or whatever.
Oh, and things. Peggy's asking, what are we going to do next Thursday? And I think next Thursday, Peggy, were we going to do the pocket things?
Yeah, that's what you suggested was the pocket pages. Yeah. And I said, which pocket pages? And you said any pocket page you want. So, okay.
We could go either way. I mean, we could go that way or go to doing something printing wise, like with gel plates, or, you know, what do you guys think we should do? Would you like?
Does anybody want to watch gel plate printing? That would be fun.
You want to see pockets or you want to see gel printing? And Ian says, how about using fishing cable? Sure, you could use any kind of cording.
Yeah.
You want. Just make sure you get some pretty stout poundage. You know.
Yeah, get your 100 or 200 pound.
Bigger than other ones, right?
Yeah. Something for those big sea marlin.
There you go.
Does anybody say whether they want pocket pages or gel printing?
No. Maybe we'll get some comments in the comments later, but
it'll be one of those two things, and we'll decide on the fly like we always do.
Yeah, kind of like this morning where I didn't know what the heck I was going to do.
Okay, well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you next Thursday, same time, same channel.
Yeah. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.